News with David Clue, Genevieve Rayon, and Chief Meteorologist Darrell Wenninger. Central Oregon Daily News starts now.
After nearly 2 decades as a real hotspot restaurant in downtown Bend, 900 Wall posted to its Facebook page and to its customers that it is closing for good. Thanks for joining us at 11. I'm David Clue.
And I'm Genevieve Rayon. The owners of the restaurant making that heartbreaking announcement with a message to those who helped make them a landmark here. That message saying in part, quote, "We did all we could to continue to provide a living for employees, a sense of community for our guests." Adding, "We are not alone in our struggle this winter and spring, so if you value locally owned restaurants, now is the time to support the wonderful community." 900 Wall took over its iconic 2-story brick building back in 2009, and for the past 17 years has been one of the go-to dining establishments in downtown Bend. Its signature modern American food was locally sourced whenever possible, but for many, it became a regular stop for its very popular happy hour. The executive director of the Downtown Bend Business Association tells us tonight they do have a few prospects for the historic space, but they're still seeking the best fit for the location.
A woman hurt while skiing on Mount Bachelor tried to sue the resort for millions. A jury rejected that suit. Powder Corporation, the parent company of Mount Bachelor, thanking the jury today for the ruling in its favor. In a statement, a spokesperson for Bachelor wrote, in part, "Mount Bachelor applauds today's jury decision affirming the resort's operational practices and recognizing the risks inherent to skiing and snowboarding." It was back in 2022 that Jeannie Scanlon fell while getting off the Pine Martin lift. She broke her leg, then sued for negligence, saying the exit area was not properly maintained and the lift operators failed to react appropriately. The court records show the jury rejected her $2.3 million lawsuit on Friday.
An update tonight to a disturbing child abuse case that we've been following closely.
Yeah, the Sun River woman accused, not abused, pleading not guilty today. Sarah Session is charged with criminal mistreatment and assault of a child under the age of 10. The former teacher is accused of beating the kid with a curtain rod, as well as poisoning and forcing the child to eat their own vomit. Her parents are also charged in this case, with cleaning up the crime scene and tampering with evidence.
Today, all three entered not guilty pleas. The month-long trial is tentatively scheduled for the first week of April of next year.
All right, Chief Meteorologist Darrell Wenninger joining us now. And Darrell, we had a nice little batch of rain as we ended the week last week, but it looks like everything's pretty dry for a while now.
Yeah, mostly dry until we get to Sunday and Monday. So we have several days. Now there will be some ups and downs in temperatures. More clouds are expected. Winds are getting breezy time. That's as a very weak cold front moves through the high desert. But look at this infrared satellite imagery. We have very little cloud cover over central Oregon. Winds are already tapering and it is getting a little on the chilly side here through the next couple of hours. Right now though, we're sitting in the 40s for most of the Tri-County area, 38 in Sisters and 52 in Warm Springs. Remember, these winds are going to become a gentle breeze. Temperatures continue to fall, and we're losing another 10 plus degrees across the high desert. Lows are going to be the 30s with some 20s, and that gentle breeze swings around to the southwest and south. But look at this. Your school bus forecast shows that, yes, we start off chilly, but by the afternoon through the 60s into the 70s, and the warm-up does not stop there. So I'll have the rest of your most reliable forecast in a few minutes. David, take it away.
Me instead, Darrell, but thank you. Turns out Skyliner Lodge is not shutting its doors after all. Back in December, the lodge told us it was closing. The lodge, a popular venue for weddings, reunions, and other events. Nature Connect Central Oregon stepped up to assume operation and fiscal responsibility. The organization is made up of more than 30 partners, strives to connect kids with nature through education, exploration, and play. And for anyone who may be looking for a last-minute wedding venue for this summer, well, you may just be in luck.
Was that all of those couples that had weddings planned starting July 1st needed to make other arrangements, and so did. And so we have a wide open summer calendar for anyone who needs a last-minute venue for a wedding or a family gathering or any kind of celebration.
And Nature Connect tells us it's typical for the lodge to be booked at least 18 months in advance. And because it's trying to fill its calendar, its website says reservations made anytime between July 1st through September 30th will get a 30% discount. We've got the link for the information you need all on our web story.
And speaking of reservations, applications are now open for the popular after-school program Kids Inc. That's one run by Bend Park and Recreation. These are for the 2025 through 2026 school year with options for part or full-time after-school care. You can apply anytime until May 16th at 5 p.m. However, keep in mind, selection process on this one is through a lottery system. One thing to note, prices for the program have risen. They're up $20 this year from $265 to $285.
Today is Cinco de Mayo, and earlier this evening, a special mariachi performance at SWN Restaurant in Bend. Middle schoolers providing the tunes.
Yeah, it's adorable, wasn't it? A brand new program that's allowing those students from High Desert Middle School to learn the craft. Our Steele Haugen spoke with them ahead of that performance.
1, 2, ready,
My dad used to be in a mariachi group and I wanted to follow what he does, so I just decided to do mariachi when I heard that they're starting to do it now.
The High Desert Middle School is bringing out its musical talent just in time for Cinco de Mayo. Thanks to a brand new program allowing students to learn mariachi, these middle school students have spent the entire year getting ready for Monday's performance.
It's been tough in mariachi, like playing all the chords. Like in the beginning, I couldn't play this song very well, and now I've practiced it, and it's really, I got it down.
I get to keep following my culture, and it's pretty cool to be a part of this program. Very fun.
Orchestra and mariachi director Brenda Simmons says this performance takes on the culture and sound of different mariachi instruments.
There's guitar, which is brass, blowing, violin, which is here, intonation work, always in bowing, and then that's one class, and then we have our armonia class, which is strumming patterns with guitars, a ton of guitars, a few vihuelas, which is an authentic Mexican instrument used for mariachi, and the guitarron, which is the big bass.
The performance starts Monday at 6:30 at SWN. Singing along is encouraged. Sheets of music are available.
I feel really excited because my dad's gonna be there, and I feel like my family, since the Mexicans, we get to like all celebrate, like we get to celebrate after, and then like we get to like celebrate what I did.
Steele Haugen, Central Oregon Daily News.
Central Oregon continues to stay on top when it comes to craft beer. In this year's World Beer Cup, Central Oregon breweries won 5 medals in all. And keep in mind, this is a worldwide competition. Sun River Brewing was the only local brewery to secure a gold medal for its brew called Fuzztail.
It's a great beer. It's about 50% pale malt, 50% wheat malt. Got a little touch of Northwest grown hops in it. The beer's balanced, highly drinkable. It's one of our best-selling products, and we're just stoked that it can compete this well on an international level.
Deschutes Brewery, Wild Ride Brewing, and Monkless all placed in silver, and Bend Brewing received a bronze medal. By the way, the winning beer for Deschutes Brewing is actually the beer they made for Costco under the Kirkland brand. You can check out all the different categories and the winners on the web version of this story.
Despite so many signs of a coming recession over tariffs and higher consumer prices, the latest jobs report shows a solid labor market.
Yeah, but uncertainty is still brewing, especially among small businesses like mom and pop restaurants. Even the simple things like paper versus laminated menus are top of mind for restaurant owners. Kelly O'Grady visited one of them.
A little more comfortable?
Sure. Stanley Calavrusis is the manager of the Three Brothers Diner in Danbury, Connecticut.
How are you seeing foot traffic over the last few months?
The last few months it's been down. I think there's just a lot of uncertainty, and anytime things are uncertain, people really slow down on like discretionary spending like this.
With fewer customers, Calavrusis has paused expanding.
How are you thinking about your staff and potential hiring needs?
A couple years ago you were begging for people. Now I just say thank you so much for applying, but we're okay.
With the consumer confidence the way it is, with companies scrambling the way they are, we're approaching a full-blown crisis.
John Samuel is a business consultant for a firm called Alex Partners. He's helping companies react to changing consumer behavior as a result of shifting tariff policies.
Even if we do get some trade deals done,
Has there already been damage done to businesses and consumers?
I would say yes. So the unpredictability of the climate means that people have to take action on imperfect information.
His company's recent survey reveals 70% of corporate executives expect to raise prices. There is one bright spot. Food prices have been relatively steady since January. Diner staples, including tomatoes, bread, and chicken, saw flat or decreasing prices. A dozen eggs, however, are up 26%. Even so, Stanley Calavrusis notices savings are on the menu.
Enjoy. People are sharing things a lot more than they used to. Nobody leaves any leftovers at all. There's no doggy bag left unfetched.
And that was Kelly O'Grady reporting there. The latest jobs report shows a healthy jobs market. The real question is, will consumer sentiment and reluctance to spend in such an uncertain economy show up in the next report? That release is expected in early June.
It is still considered the worst oil spill disaster in American history. And from Louisiana to the Florida Panhandle, the impacts of the BP oil spill are still being felt 15 years after the cleanup, especially when it comes to trust. We'll take you back to the Gulf for a look at what's changed and what hasn't after the break.
With McValue at McDonald's, you'll get deals on drinks whenever you hit the afternoon slump.
We've got your pick-me-up covered because medium drinks are now $2.29. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Hello, Central Oregon. It's gig time. To celebrate 10 years and over $80 million invested in our fiber-backed network here, TDS is offering savings as big as Mount Bachelor on blazing fast 1 gig internet. Right now, new TDS customers get 1 gig internet for just $44.99 a month for life. You heard right, just $44.99 a month. It's the deal of a lifetime. Viva la gig time. We know you're gonna love it.
Summer's here, and with a new Toyota, you can go here, surf's up, here, woo, and here.
Right now, you can lease a rugged new 2025 Toyota Tacoma for just $309 a month. Visit Toyota.com to learn more.
Your summer starts here and just keeps on going.
Toyota, let's go places.
Imagine a healthier, more confident you. Monarch Medical is here to make it a reality. With nearly 20 years' experience, we've guided thousands toward lasting weight loss throughout Oregon. Our medically guided program combines the power of GLP-1 medications with personalized lifestyle support, helping patients reach their goals and maintain their success through both in-office and telehealth visits. And the best part is, we accept most insurance plans. Contact Monarch Medical today to learn more and start the journey toward a healthier you.
When you say let's go to breakfast, you mean let's go to McDonald's. Obviously.
Get the morning going when you buy one breakfast sandwich and get another one for $1.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
15 years ago, the pristine oyster beds, beaches, and marshlands of the Louisiana Gulf were reduced to an oil slick in one of the country's worst oil spill disasters.
The British Petroleum offshore rig caught fire. The well was severed and it pumped more than 100 million gallons of oil into the Gulf of Mexico before it could be capped. The recovery has been slow, and as Mark Strassman explains, trust that it won't happen again is likely broken forever.
Off Grand Isle, Louisiana, a sport fishing paradise, dolphins escorted us during our trip to the Gulf on Captain Craig Belkowitz's charter boat. He wanted to show us what matters here. The redfish are biting.
And if the fish weren't here, the dolphins wouldn't be here.
That's right.
Another sign that this place is recovered.
It's recovered.
Recovered slowly over 15 years. Grand Isle remembers the summer of 2010, the panic across the Gulf.
BP did this? They destroyed us.
Gushing like BP's ruptured well. A feeling of helplessness, frantic efforts to cap the well, bungled attempts to stop ribbons of rust-colored crude from poisoning beaches and wetlands. We covered BP's disastrous spill for 4 months.
All this oil, this is so heavy I can barely lift it. is part of a 16-mile slick.
134 million gallons gushed into the Gulf. Grand Isle became Grand Oil, stuck in the muck of disaster. Mayor David Camerdahl fought tears.
I'm gonna lose this place when I know I'm trying my best.
We caught up with him again 15 years later on the same beach.
You were very emotional.
Seeing that all coming through, it was a whole different world for us.
As Grand Isle recovered,
As the environment moved, it got better and better, we find, and the storms kind of came and pushed some big waves here and kind of pushed the other stuff out.
But below the surface, a different story. Back in 2015, Chris Hernandez showed us his oyster beds, covered in sheen.
Who's going to eat oysters that taste like oil?
He told us recently those beds have never recovered.
no surprise, the spill had a devastating impact on marine life, coastal ecosystems, and wetlands. Over the last 15 years, some of it has recovered, and some of it hasn't. Louisiana restored this bird island, home to brown pelicans, herons, and gulls. BP money paid for this $18 million project. Maury Chantelier is the program's administrator.
We're into the restoration phase now, where we're trying to make right and bring those populations back.
But NOAA shot this underwater footage near the BP wellhead in 2017. Researchers saw almost no signs of life. They went back to the same area last year and say it looks much the same. 100 miles away, back on Grand Isle, Camerdale still has his fears.
And I still think there's a little poison. I shouldn't say it that way, but it still could pop up in the ground.
Even 15 years later, you have that worry.
I do.
It took BP 4 months to seal the well, but there's still no cap on the lingering distrust. Mark Strassman in Grand Isle, Louisiana.
Discover Ben's best selection of quality outdoor furniture in stock and ready for delivery at Powder House Ski and Patio. The season for outdoor living is here, and there is no better time to redefine your outdoor space than now. Patio furniture for every home at Powder House.
When my sister-in-law was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, I just started educating myself.
Being faced with the future of a caregiver, what are my tools? Where do I start?
Oregon Care Partners opened the door to help me be a better caregiver.
Just about all the issues you can encounter are covered.
Everything from medication management to behavior issues.
To be able to do it for free and online at your own pace.
It was just helpful to know that you're not alone.
You're giving better care, and that's going to make their life better.
We are the beautiful floor you shop on. Our materials make your shots roll true. We're there when it's brewed and when it's poured and when the sun's power is converted to clean energy. From connecting our community to helping provide clean drinking water. For over 3 decades, Hooker Creek has taken pride in what we do and how we do it. Because we live here too. Hooker Creek, at the foundation of local.
Inspiring confidence and bringing out smiles with Operation School Bell. Assistance League of Men gives students the chance to shop for brand new school clothes that they need and love.
I think it's so much, it's so helpful, especially because everything's it's hard to get by and stuff.
Probably my favorite thing about Operation School Bell is making sure that all kids go to school feeling equal.
Help clothe a child and donate today. Visit assistanceleaguebend.org.
Central Oregon has an endless supply of sunny summer days to enjoy relaxing in your backyard. Powder House has everything you need to create your outdoor paradise. Stop in today and relax in one of 60 patio sets on display at Powder House Ski and Patio.
Thank you, Johnson Brothers. Happy 75th anniversary.
Talk about a gorgeous start to the work week. Hey everyone, we are back, and today across Central Oregon, most of the high desert topped out in the 60s, mid 60s for many of us, 71 degrees in Warm Springs, 57 in Sun River, and 60 degrees in Lapine. Now here through the last several hours, a little bit of cloud cover we had was already thinned out, but this was the view as the sun was setting. Tammy grabbed this snapshot tonight, and that's just breathtaking. All those colors. Thank you, Tammy. Now there wasn't any precipitation along with those clouds either. Now, if you have any weather pictures you'd like to see on air, send them in to weather@centraloregondaily.com. Here's a look at your headlines. The big one, sun-soaked, stable, and dry. All of this is because of a broad ridge of high pressure that's just remaining anchored over the Pacific Northwest. During the next couple of days, temperatures continue to warm into and through the 70s, topping out in the mid to upper 70s with a few low 80s just before our next system. So that means fast melting snowpack is expected through the Cascades because temperatures are so high and we have so much sunshine. Meanwhile, right now, those temperatures are mostly in the 40s. We do have 52 in Warm Springs. Tonight, we're looking at 30s with a few 20s possible. But here's our forecast model. It is staying clear. We've already had a lot of calming by tomorrow during the afternoon. Winds get a little on the breezy side. We're talking 2 to 12 miles per hour, maybe some gusts up to 20, but not much in the way of cloud cover. By Wednesday afternoon, some PM clouds are expected. A few sprinkles are possible, but I think most of it is going to evaporate before it reaches the surface. So what that means is that our ridge of high pressure is giving way to this incoming system. Right now, it's a decent cold front that's just out over the Pacific Ocean, but by the time it gets here, it really breaks apart. So we have this warming trend under sunshine Tuesday, low to mid 70s, few 60s. By Wednesday, mid to upper 70s with a few 80s, and then some sprinkles through the Cascades and on the other side of the mountains are expected Wednesday. And then that cold front fizzles out, but the cooler air mass comes into the region, leaving us with a slight dip in temperatures and another round of lower to mid 70s by Thursday. But by Friday, it's cranking up. Those temperatures picking up quite a bit once again. So for tonight, 30s and a few 20s. Tuesday, 70s and a few 60s under tons of sunshine with very little cloud cover, similar to today. After a slight dip in temperatures Thursday, Friday, lower 80s, Saturday, lower 80s. Then another system brings stronger winds and some showers Sunday and Monday with a bigger drop in temperatures, knocking us back down to below average. Lower 60s are expected by the beginning of next week, and that's the latest in weather.
Summer's here, and with a new Toyota, you can go here, surf's up, here, woo, and here.
Right now, you can lease a tough new 2025 Toyota Tundra for just $499 a month. Visit Toyota.com to learn more.
Your summer starts here and just keeps on going.
Toyota, let's go places.
At Abby's, Toppings to the Edge is a promise we've kept for 60 years and counting. We load our pizzas with fresh ingredients, quality meats, and real cheese, so every bite is legendary. If you can find a better pizza, buy it. Abby's, you just can't top it.
For generations, we have gathered to celebrate our Western heritage, reconnect with neighbors, and welcome new friends. In a place where the long summer days seem fleeting, but 8 seconds can last a lifetime. The Crooked River Roundup, celebrating 80 years of tradition.
I spent so long under a storm cloud. Hold out your hand, and let me stand by you.
Find local programs or donate today at mission22.com.
Right now, every day is Taco Tuesday at Abby's. Our Taco Especial is on sale 7 days a week. This giant pizza serves up to 6 people and is at a very special price. Order at abbys.com. Give us a call or just drop by. We're family-owned Abby's, a legendary pizza tradition.
His resume includes a Silver Star and 2 Purple Hearts, including 1 earned while he was carrying a fellow soldier to safety.
On this week's edition of War Stories, we're hearing from Daniel Little.
I was born in Michigan. My parents moved to Southern California, where I virtually grew up until I went in the service. I was drafted in 1965 without really knowing anything about Vietnam. They sent us to Fort Polk, Louisiana. And my first day back there, they herded us into this big auditorium. And here comes this guy out on this stage and he was an airborne recruiter. So he's up on his stage walk telling us all of the benefits of going airborne. And boy, did he sound good. But when I got down there and stood in this line, there's only about 10 of us. Right then, the first thought that hit me is, oh my goodness, what did I do? Because my dad said, when you go in, don't volunteer for anything. Well, I volunteered to become a paratrooper on the very first day. So off we went to our basic training, getting off this bus, and here's this recruiter screaming at us that you want to be paratroopers, you will never make it through my basic training unit. And he drilled us and we ran everywhere. Got to jump school, and there it was serious training. I don't recall exactly what the dropout rate was, but it was very high.
A seemingly endless stream of big-bellied silver C-130s began landing at Benoit Air Base, about 18 miles northeast of Saigon.
They transferred quite a few of us from the 173rd up to join the 101st when they landed in Quy Nhon. So here I am joining this airborne unit, 101st Airborne, the Screaming Eagles. Well, I knew who these guys were. These are the guys that fought in World War II, and I was so fortunate because there were still World War II and Korean veterans in the unit. We went in a Marine helicopter. They exit this thing out a side door, and I hear this noise. You know, and the guy just said, "Get down, get down." So I get down in the, you know, in the rice paddies, in the mud, and he says, "Well, you just earned your CIB, which is a combat infantryman badge that you be in combat." But that was my first operation there. First lieutenant had been shot, and we were trying to save him. And I had the front arms, and another guy behind me was carrying his feet, and all of a sudden, bam! I thought the guy behind me hit me, and I turned around and what did you hit me for? Well, his eyes are huge, and he said, "TT, that was my nickname." So, "T, you're hit." And I, "What?" And I thought I was going to die. I'm shocked. Sunk down in the mud in the rice paddies and slapped the first aid packet on me. And we're screaming at our guys, "We're coming out, we're coming out, we're coming out." And we did. And I got in line with our other wounded to be medevaced out. And a medic came by while I was in line, tore my first aid packet off and cleaned it, and stitched me up right there. And I don't know who it was. My first sergeant said, "Little, we're going back out there. We need you." I went. I didn't get on that helicopter to go back. We started running some operations, and we were way under strength at this time. We were ordered to go out on patrol around this area and just make sure, you know, clean up, make sure there's no more VC there and such. But the place we're at was Dak To, a forward reconnaissance unit. We're ambushed. And so while we were already out there, they wanted a platoon to get to them. The Tiger Force had fought their way up to this kind of elevated hill. So we joined in the perimeter. I set my gun up on a trail going down where this is the trail that they fought going up. And we have to take turns standing guard or sleeping. I'm being kicked, somebody's kicking me. And "What are you doing?" I thought it was my assistant gunner. And I looked up, and it is a VC. And he's kicking me and starting to go through my pockets. And he looked at me, I looked at him. He was as scared as I was. And he took off running back down the trail. Because he had been going through the dead, coming up the trail and taking whenever they could scrounge. They came by me, they thought they'd just get, you know, here's another dead guy, I'll go through his pockets. You don't really see, I mean, you do, but you don't really see your enemy when you're fighting especially in the jungles. But for me to come face to face with this guy, that's kind of rare. And it was pretty much 30 days of constant contact. because I was very proud of being in the military. Part of it is the unit that I served with, the 101st Airborne. I'm so proud to be with them, to have served with, to have the honor, the opportunity to serve with them. And when I see someone wearing that patch today, I'll go out of my way to do whatever I can to help other veterans.
WT Equipment Rentals and Sales, Central Oregon's source for the homeowner and contractor. For projects around the house, WT can provide lawn care and maintenance equipment for any project. Sales and service, WT Equipment.
In Central Oregon, we know what it's like to experience a breath of fresh air. Stepping in the front door, we want you to have that same feeling. At Pyramid Heating and Cooling, our mission is to create healthy, comfortable, efficient indoor environments. As a Carrier Factory Authorized dealer, we work to provide customers the best savings and financing available. Right now, get an HVAC tune-up for just $99. Turn to the experts at Pyramid Heating and Cooling and thrive in the great indoors.
Leadership today is about more than profit. It's about purpose. Join some of Central Oregon's top business leaders for an evening of discussion, networking, and cocktails to benefit the life-saving work of Stroke Awareness Oregon. Hear stories about how local leaders navigate innovation, collaboration, and social responsibility to drive lasting impact. Leading with a Purpose, Tuesday, May 13th at Tethero. Don't miss this important event for a great cause. Tickets on sale now at strokeawareness.oregon.org.
Los Lonely Boys, live in concert. Saturday, May 10th at Indian Head Casino. Tickets on sale at IndianHeadCasino.com.
Win and save on Lucky Number Tuesday at Bi-Mart. This week you can win great prizes from Mega Master, Dirt Devil, and more. Plus you can buy them with Tuesday-only pricing. Win and save on Lucky Number Tuesday only at Bi-Mart.
WT Equipment Rentals and Sales, Central Oregon's source for the homeowner and contractor. Heavy equipment needed at your job site? WT can provide backhoes to excavators and more for any size project. Sales and service, WT Equipment.
All right, Drell, you got just enough time for a final look at the forecast, and it's looking pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah. Chilly nights, warming
My
days.
kind of forecast.
Yeah, chilly nights, warming days, and then some 80s are going to be expected.
There it
Now, there
is.
is a chance of rain, but look at this. Even by Wednesday, mid to upper 70s, a few low 80s. Then a weak front pushes through, maybe a couple of sprinkles. We dip back down into the mid 70s, so not too much of a dip in temperatures. But look at Friday. Look at Saturday. Don't worry about
Look at
Sunday.
Sunday.
Don't worry about
Hey,
those
now.
little guys right now. Because we're, look, 70s and a few 80s before a bigger cool down. That brings us to normal.
Yeah.
Oh, sounds great to me. I love it.
Yep. All right. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
Get ready for the 4th annual Bend Health Fair, sponsored by One Peak Medical, Saturday, May 10th at the Deschutes County Fair and Expo Center. Your $5 ticket gets you into 3 events, including the Bend Beauty Expo and the Bend Creators Market. For more information, visit bendhealthfair.com.
Ski, bike, run, paddle, and sprint from Mount Bachelor to Bend at the 47th Annual Selco Pole Pedal Paddle. Race or volunteer. Whatever you do, don't miss one of Bend's most iconic events and the largest annual fundraiser for the Mount Bachelor Sports Education Foundation. The Selco Pole Pedal Paddle, May 17th. Sign up to race or volunteer at pppbend.com.
Discover affordable resort-style living right here in Bend at Cascade Village. With luxury manufactured homes starting in the mid-300,000s. Bend's premier 55-plus community is calling you home. Discover